Hey, what's up everybody, it's MTG Mondays. I'm here back again with another deck tech. This time it's another Commander deck, and we're going to check out my Maga, Traitor to Mortals. Another one of my very favorite decks that I play. I usually try to play it every single time when I have a chance to. If I don't play Karn, if I know that the play group that I'm playing with doesn't really like Karn all that much, I'll definitely stick with this. So let's take a look at it. Alrighty guys, we're going to start off with Maga herself. Starts as a triple black for a 0/0, triple black and X, excuse me, for a 0/0, and as it comes into play, it comes with X11 counters on it, where X is the number you pay, and when it comes into play, target player loses life equal to the number of 1/1 counters on it. So it's essentially a drain life on a creature. So this deck wants to deal a lot with mana manipulation, getting a lot of mana very fast. The first part of the deck that we have here is going to be the lands. So we'll start out with Thespian Stage, excuse me. A newer edition. I really like this card. It lets me copy Cabal Coffers and a few other fun lands, so very good card. Deserted Temple. It has the untap target land ability, which also has a little bit of a combo in here that I can go over a little bit later. Vesuva, again, lets me copy any land that I wish. Awesome card. Boseiju, really like this card because it allows me to play any of my instant or sorcery drain spells, and they cannot be countered. Thawing Glaciers, just some mana ramp. Strip Mine, just because you got to take care of some of those lands sometimes, and I don't have Crucible in here either, and this is the only form of land destruction that I really have. So Temple of the False Gods, because it adds 2. Cabal Coffers adds 1 black for every swamp I control. Awesome card, which is very well paired with Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, which makes each land a swamp in addition to its other types. Next is Petrified Fields. You can sacrifice it to return target land card from your graveyard to your hand. So if they kill off your Urborg or if they kill off your Cabal Coffers, you can get it back. And then I have 23 snow-covered swamps for a total of 33 lands. Next we're going to move on to the Tutor package of the deck, which is quite large. I also include the land searching in the Tutor package just because that's mostly what I tutor for, is lands. So first off, we got Demonic Tutor, Vampiric Tutor, which I really like because it's instant speed. Night Dealings, which is very awesome in my opinion. It's very good. You're able to pay 4 to get something with something converted mana cost X or less of the thief counters on there. It has to be a non-land, so this is for my X spells normally, which are usually 2. So as long as I do 2 damage, I'm okay. Beseech the Queen, another good card. Ristic Tutor, kind of just an earlier form of a tutor, which is pretty good. Diabolic Revelations, Diabolic Intent, sack a creature, tutor something. Increasing Ambition. I get a lot of mana in this deck, so I can always afford to do those. Insidious Dreams. As additional cost, you have to discard your hand, and then you search for X cards and put those on top of your library in any order. So you basically set up your library. Really good to set up combo pieces. Runescarred Demon, awesome card. Demonic Collusion, it's a buyback tutor. Buyback, just discard 2 cards, which is really nice if you have maybe 2 cards you want to go get and you have, say, 4 cards in your hand. It's very good to get. Diabolic Tutor, Expedition Map, Journeyer's Kite, just to go tutor up some lands. A Cruel Tutor, and Liliana, just for the mostly for the swamp tutor. She's also very good later to increase each swamp's to increase the amount of each swamp that each swamp adds. So she's really good in this deck. Next is the Draw package. I don't really have all that much drawing cards in the deck, but the ones I do have are actually, I think, are pretty good. Like Promise of Power, it has 2 modes. You can either draw 5 cards, lose 5 life, or put a black demon creature token into play with equal to the number of cards in your hand, which also has Entwine. So you can do both. Bloodgift Demon, which is just the next card on a stick. He's also a 5/4 flyer, which is really nice. So Phyrexian Arena is Bloodgift Demon. Well, the Phyrexian Arena is the original Bloodgift Demon, I should say. Draw 1 card, lose 1 life. Awesome card. Necropotence. Skip your draw step. If you were to discard a card from your hand, remove it from the game instead. Pay 1 life. Remove the top card of your library from the game face down. At the end of your turn, you put that card in your hand. So you pay life to draw cards, in essence. And then Siphon Mind. One of my favorite draw cards, especially in multiplayer EDH. Commander, excuse me. Then next up we have just kind of the random cards that they do things, but they really didn't have a spot, so they're more utility cards, I guess, which is Sorin Markov. I use this normally to bump somebody down to 10. It kind of is the douchebaggy move, but this deck is all about trying to kill somebody with an X spell, so somebody at 10 life is a lot easier to kill than somebody at 40. Grim Discovery, it gets back your lands from your graveyard, and also gets back creatures that you might need. So if your Cabal Coffers and a really good utility creature go to the graveyard, you can get them both back. Rings of Brighthearth set up to combo off with a couple of things in the deck. Umbral Mantle, same thing. It combos with Magas of the Cabal, or Cabal Magas or something like that, to get infinite mana. Soul Conduit is there to exchange players' life totals, so if I have low health and somebody else doesn't, I can switch our life totals, and same thing goes in multiplayer. If I want to kill somebody else, I can just do that. Temporal Extortion, one of my favorite take an extra turn cards. If they don't, they pay half their life. Good stuff. Phyrexian Obliterator, just a freaking good card. And Midnight Banshee was something recent I put in here. And it's 6 for 5/5 with Wither, but at the beginning of your upkeep you put a -1 counter on each non-black creature, and since all the creatures in here are black, it's kind of a pseudo removal. Also, it just keeps shrinking things, which I really like. Next is kind of a few win conditions, along with a few of the win conditions that I can do. Things like Wound Reflection. If you have Sorin out, you Wound Reflection, you just win. Same thing with anything that deals them half life. Same thing with your X spells. If you deal half the damage, it deals the other half. More often than not, I try to tutor for this because it's very, very good when it's out. Swine's Vengeance is very good with the next 2 cards. It deals 10 and I gain 10, and with either of them, I can deal more or gain more. So if I have an Exquisite Blood out, I gain an extra 10 life for them at that amount, which is really, really good. And with Sanguine Bond out, they lose an extra 10 life. So, but together, if I were to gain any amount of life, when these are both out on the field, if I were to gain any life, or if they were to lose any life, I just win the game, because these infinitely loop together. And then the last card in this little section is going to be, if I can pick it up here, Essence Harvest, which I really like to pair with Maga usually. If I only have enough to play her for anywhere close to like a half of a life total, if I just have to have a creature out there to block, I will usually play Maga, and then somewhere down the line I will Essence Harvest, where it says target player loses X life, gain X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control, which is usually going to be Maga. So, I really like that card with that. It's also a new addition I just made. Then after that is going to be our creature removal, which black has quite a bit of. I'm not running a terribly gigantic amount, but it's a lot in my book. So I have Damnation, Chainer's Edict, one of my favorite Edict cards, Lethal Vapors. Whenever a creature comes into play, destroy it, and somebody can skip a turn to get rid of it. Tainted Aether. Whenever a creature comes into play, its controller sacrifices a creature or land. Really, really fun. Since this deck is very, very creature light, this is very good for me. Ashes to Ashes, take care of 2 target non-artifact creatures for 5 health. That's not too bad when I'm gaining a bunch of life with all my X spells. Life's Finale. Decree of Pain, destroy all creatures, draw some cards. Very good card, especially because I get mana very easy. Reaver Demon, same thing, basically. For a bunch of mana, it's a one-sided wrath. Very good. Because all my creatures are black, so. Plague Wind, another one-sided wrath for a lot of mana that I usually get. Good. No Mercy. When a creature deals damage to me, kill it. And then Slaughter Pact, just for that spot removal that you need, and it costs 0 mana just because. Very good card. So that's the removal package I have in there. Next up is the mana package, the ability to generate mana in this deck. It comes in the form of Cryptghast, Extra Planar Lands, Doubling Cube, Maga of the Coffers, which combos with the Umbral Mantle, Bubbling Muck, just doubles my swamps for a turn, which is really nice. Gauntlet of Power, helps everybody, but that's okay. Cage Sun, just helps me, and Narukana Revenant. All of those pretty much double all my swamps. And then we have the X spells on which to use all the abundance of mana that you have. First off, we have Force March, which is part of my removal package, but I included it in here because it was an X spell. So, destroy all creatures with converted mana cost X or less. Very good card. Consume Spirit is an X spell that I have. Drain Life. Mind Warp. Skeletal Vampire. I can sink a bunch of mana into it to create a bunch of tokens if I really need to. Dark Impostor, kill things, get bigger. Exsanguinate, probably my favorite X spell to kill everybody at the table. Mind Twist, great card. Drana, kill creatures a lot, and she gets gigantic. Soulburn, Mind Shatter, Profane Command, just because it's very, very good. It has very, very different modes, which is very good in this deck. If I want to kill somebody, I can kill somebody, or if I want to Alpha Strike, I can Alpha Strike, or I can just kill a creature. Very good card. And then my favorite pet card that I have in here, just because I played with it for a long time, is Death Cloud. Each player loses X life, sacks X cards, discards X cards, sacks X creatures, and sacks X lands. This card is devastating when it goes off, and usually I'm in a better position because I will have more life than you. So, and that's all of the deck in a nutshell. Alrighty, now I'm going to go over some of the combos that are in the deck. I've already mentioned the Sanguine Bond and Exquisite Blood combo, whereas you just have to gain 1 life or they have to lose 1 life and you win. Next is the Deserted Temple and Cabal Coffers, infinite mana, lots of mana combo. Let's get these up here. So if you have these out on the field, which is Rings of Brighthearth, Cabal Coffers, Urborg, and Deserted Temple, and you also have 3 other lands other than these ones, then you're able to go infinite with these. What you do is you have Rings of Brighthearth just chilling. You pay 2 mana by tapping presumably Urborg and any other land that you have out there. Use this to add 6 to your mana pool. Then you use 1 to untap target land, copy that ability with Rings of Brighthearth for 2, so you're spending 3, so you still have 3 in your mana pool. Use that to untap 2 lands, so you'll untap Cabal and Deserted Temple again. You have 3 in your mana pool. It only takes 2 to do this to add 6, and just keep that up and repeat, and you have exponentially growing mana. Very good. Another thing with that's really, really fun with Rings of Brighthearth is doubling cube. It's kind of fun. It's kind of cute. And then you got the Umbral Mantle, Maga of the Coffers combo, which is also, if you have 6 mana out there, you can basically do the same thing, except you tap this for 2 to add 6 to your pool, untap it for 3, then you have to tap it for 2 to add 6 more. So basically you go down to 1, and then you add 6 or 7, and you just keep going up by 1 every time. So that one's fun. It only takes two cards and a bunch of land, so that's really good. Next is the combos with Wound Reflection. Very powerful card in this deck, like I said. Wound Reflection combos with Maga. You can pay half the total and kill them. Death Cloud. You pay half the total, you lose that half the life, they lose all of it. Profane Command. They lose lots. Same thing. Tap out for half. Make everybody lose, except for you, for half the amount. Consume Spirit. Half the amount. Drain life. Half the amount. Sorin. You just win with this card. Because their life total becomes 10, they effectively lose 30 from 40, and they will lose another 30 at the end step. Same thing with Soul Conduit. If somebody has 20 life and you switch it with somebody that has 40, the person that had 40 will lose, because they're seen to lose 20 life when that happens. And same thing with Temporal Extortion. If you have this out there and you have what's it called? Wound Reflection out there, and they don't realize you have it out there, and they say, yeah, sure, I'll pay half my life. Well, they lose, and you get to take an extra. You don't get to take an extra turn, but they lose. So that's pretty much all the combos that the deck has. Like I said, it really just likes to play out mana and use all these X spells to their advantage.
Okay, guys, tell me what you think about Maga Traded Immortals deck in the comments below. I'm going to start doing a new series every week, and I want to try to get it going this week if you guys could, so leave a comment below and let me know which commander you would like me to build a deck out of. So in the comments below you can be like, I want to see a Maga deck, and then next to it sort of a theme that'll be associated with the deck, so tribal, or like with this card X spells, and then after that put budget or no budget, because I'm just going to build these on cockatrice. And so yeah, if you guys want to see me build a commander deck for one of your favorite commanders, just let me know in the comments below. Make sure to tell me what kind of theme you want and whether it should be budget or non-budget. And if you say both, sure, I'll pick both, and I'll choose the one that gets the most likes, and or the one that if none of them have any likes, I'll find the one that I think is going to be the most interesting and build it. So yeah, make sure to do that, and I'll see you next time.